Did you know that skipping church one Sunday could curse your entire bloodline for generations? If you can't listen now, save this episode and follow the channel so you don't miss what comes next. Because this is more than a folktale, it's a warning that has echoed through the hills of northern England for centuries. John Lambton was a young nobleman with too much pride and too little patience. On one quiet Sunday morning, while the villagers gathered for church, John decided to wander off to the river where he wasn't interested in sermons. He wanted something exciting, so he brought his fishing rod and cast a line, hoping to pass the time. What he caught was not a fish. It was black, slick, and pulsing in his hands. Shaped like an eel but with a reptilian face and tiny, needle-sharp teeth. Its eyes seemed to glow faintly in the morning light. John recoiled. He had never seen a creature like it before. Afraid to keep it but unsure what to do, he carried it to an old stone well near a chapel and tossed it in without another thought. The creature vanished into the darkness. John wiped his hands, walked away, and never told anyone. Not long after, he left for war, joining the Crusades like many young men of noble birth. He fought, travelled, and vanished from the village for years. No one expected him to return. Meanwhile, something grew in the well. At first, it was small things. Hens went missing, dogs vanished, then sheep. Then entire sections of farmland looked trampled overnight. Strange slime appeared near trees. A foul, sickly smell spread through the valley. People were frightened. Then one morning, they saw the hill itself move. A massive creature, coiled like a snake, black as coal, had wrapped itself around the land. Its body was thick and muscular. It had no wings, but it moved with terrifying power. Blades and arrows were useless. Those who approached never returned. The beast began to roam the land, destroying fences, crushing trees, devouring livestock. Some say it even devoured people. They called it the Wyrm. The villagers, desperate to survive, began bringing it offerings. Every day, they left a barrel of milk by the hill. The worm drank it and returned to its resting place, and so the milk fee began. Years later, John Lambton came home, but the village he knew was broken. His family's estate was crumbling. The people looked haunted. He asked what had happened, and someone finally told him about the worm. His father pulled him aside and confessed. The beast came from the well. John went silent. He remembered that day, the river. The strange creature, the decision he made without a second thought. And now it had come back, larger, stronger, hungry. He knew he had to end it. But he also knew it wouldn't be that simple. John Lambton didn't hesitate. He had brought the creature into the world. Now he would be the one to end it. He followed the hermit's advice. A blacksmith crafted a suit of armor covered in sharp, metal spikes. Every inch was made to pierce and slice. The battle had to happen in the river where the worm was too strong on land, but in the water, its grip would be weaker. At dawn, John walked to the riverbank. The villagers watched from a distance, holding their breath. The worm was already there, waiting, its body coiled and twisted, its eyes burning with hunger. Without a word, John stepped into the river. The water was cold, heavy, but he moved with purpose. The worm lunged, its body wrapped around him in a blink. But as it tightened, the spikes dug into its flesh. Black blood poured into the river. It howled in pain. It tried to retreat. He moved faster. Again and again, the beast tried to squeeze him, only to hurt itself more. Every movement became a trap. The river turned dark. The creature thrashed, then slowed. Its strength began to fade. With one final charge, John drove his sword into its neck. Silence fell. The villagers, watching from afar, erupted in cheers. The worm was gone. After years of terror, the curse had been lifted. Or so they thought. But John hadn't forgotten the hermit's warning. The curse would live unless the first living thing he saw was killed. He had made a plan. Before the battle, he told his father to release the family's hunting dog as soon as the fight was over. John would see the dog first and kill it to break the curse. But something went wrong. In the excitement, his father ran to embrace him. He was the first living soul John saw, and John couldn't kill his own father. The hermit's words echoed in his mind. The curse was now sealed. John never spoke of it again. He lived out his days as a respected man. But as the years passed, strange tragedies followed his bloodline. Fires, accidents, lost children. Every generation carried the shadow of the worm. Some say the family suffered for exactly 9 generations. Others say the curse still lingers. What do you believe? They say the curse of the Lambtons lasted through 9 generations. And strange events seem to support that claim. One descendant died in battle under mysterious circumstances. Another vanished without a trace. Fires burned through family estates. Children were born sick or didn't survive at all. Misfortune clung to the name like fog over the hills of Durham. Some villagers whispered that the curse would never lift because John had spared the one person he couldn't bring himself to kill. Others believed that by choosing mercy, he had broken not the curse, but the cycle of violence that began with his mistake. Still today, the hill where the worm once coiled is known as Worm Hill. Tourists visit it, hikers pass it, and children in local schools still hear the story. Old songs were written about it. Paintings and carvings can be found in old churches. Even centuries later, the story survives. But maybe it's more than just a story, because at its core, the tale of the Lambton worm isn't just about a monster. It's about consequence, about choices we make when no one is watching, about how small actions can ripple through time. One young man skipped church and threw away a creature he didn't understand. Years later, that moment came back to confront him. We all have moments like that. Things we ignore, mistakes we bury, fears we hope never return. But the Lambton legend reminds us that nothing stays buried forever. And maybe that's why people keep telling this story. Because behind the Wyrm's black scales and monstrous eyes is a human truth, a fear that we carry inside. The fear that one day we'll have to face the thing we tried to forget. So next time you pass a quiet well or walk along a river in silence, ask yourself, what stories does this place remember? What did someone throw away here, hoping no one would notice? And what if it's still waiting? If this story made you think, feel or wonder, save the video and share it with someone who loves legends. Follow the channel for more haunting tales from around the world. The next story might just be hiding beneath your feet.